he was way underprepared, and then you came and basically took him out at the knees.
He didn't know what the topic was, but you can clearly hear our discussion in the background where he not only knew what the topic was, but was very clear on it. They've been changing the stories the entire time.
So I want to get you a reaction to the Matt Dillahunty podcast first. It's one of the absolute classics recently. How did you set it up, and what was the energy like when you got in there? Were you guys friendly at the start?
Kind of. So there's footage you probably haven't seen. I brought my own cameraman and audio engineer to that debate. And so we actually have the definitive footage of that on the channel, kind of in documentary format that you can check out. That actually has the discussion of me and Matt Dillahunty before the debate started. So he had to actually change some of the things that he said. The first thing that he claimed was that he didn't know what the topic was. I don't know what the, I was confused about the topic, but you can clearly hear our discussion in the background where he not only knew what the topic was, but was very clear on it. So he kind of had to change the story around a little bit there. They've been kind of changing the story as they've been doing damage control the entire time, right? So, but yeah, you can see kind of the definitive edition there, which captures a lot of the audio you couldn't see on the modern day debate. And it's quite good. So I'd recommend checking it out for sure.
Where can we find
that? You can find that on the Crucibles channel. So you can go to the Crucible.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
So he tried to claim he didn't know who you were. And I was thinking maybe this is like a last minute, maybe Andrew's like a last minute fill in or something. Did you guys have time to study each other beforehand?
Oh yeah. This was set up like 40 days in advance. And we had been promoting it for a long time. Cross platform, Modern Day Debate had reached out to me to do the debate because there's just not that many. And now I'm not a Christian apologist. And that's kind of what they wanted. But I am a political debater. I'm a pretty well-known political debater, and definitely I put Christianity at the forefront of my debate style. I'm just not an apologist. So I went in with kind of a different viewpoint, I think, than he was used to.
Right. So because my analysis of it in my video was that he was way underprepared. He had no idea who you were. And then you came and basically
he clearly
took him out at the knees.
Yeah, he had no idea. So kind of Christian apologists fall into this kind of strange, it's almost like I see how this argument works, so I use the same argument, so I use the same argument. I wasn't really confined by that. So I came at this like I would a normal kind of political debate, where I'm actually looking at the effects of what the policy is. So that's how my mind works, right? Let's look at the policy effect. So for me, it's no different, right? What's the policy effect of secular humanism on society versus the kind of policy effect of Christianity on society? So what would happen if a Christian were to say, I came to all of my Christian views and Christian ethics absent God. So I was an atheist, but I believe all the same stuff that Christians believe. Now, what's the argument against that? Now, how do you, as the secular humanist, tell me I'm wrong? And there really was no answer for that. So he ended up kind of, he really didn't know where to go with the debate. He was very clear he was upset because kind of the second prong of the attack was to say, I can show that from my secular ethics, which are Christian ethics under this kind of hypothetical worldview, that I don't lie to people and you do. And here's the lie that you're telling people that I wouldn't tell them. And I think that this is better for society. So then he had to contend with that. He's on the defense, right? So he was not prepared at all. Whereas we had studied live on my stream many times the debate tactics of Dillahunty, and I kind of realized that he's a one-trick pony. What he wants to do is go in and debate, but God not real dough. And so kind of the tactic becomes, well, let's take God out of the equation and just look at the effects. What are the effect differences between, if we were looking at this as a political policy, because that's what you atheists want to do, right? Because God's not real and blah, 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 sky fairy and you're delusional and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, what happens if we take this out of the picture?
And who are some of the stronger debaters you've gone against? Because I've seen a lot of the clips. I love watching the Crucible, your channel, because watching you absolutely steamroll some of the like Destiny clones, I don't know how you do it, man. I couldn't deal with that for more than like 2 minutes. These
I
guys
hear
are
that
just
a
so
lot.
happy to sit there and argue that 2 + 2 is 8. It's fucking annoying to even listen to. Who are the like stronger debaters that you've gone against?
Pretty much everybody in the political sphere, everybody from Destiny to Vosh
He's good, yeah.
to, I mean, basically every, kind of prominent left-wing debater, I've tangled with them at some point, and the less prominent ones as well. So I kind of have an open door policy on tangling with leftists and their ideology because I just fucking loathe them in every
Yeah.
way that you can possibly imagine. I just loathe their ideology, and so I do enjoy tangling up with them. Now I do debates often on the channel and host them, and I'm a very fair host and an impartial moderator. But I don't pretend that I'm not biased. I'm totally biased. I can just give you a fair debate, and probably it's because I embrace the fact that I'm biased that I can do that. So I'm kind of well known in both spheres, the left and right, as being a very impartial moderator.
Yeah, that's good. And I like the term blood sport debater. And it's the first time I've heard that because people are so nice these days. And like, I can appreciate that. A lot of the time on my channel, I talk about how to have an effective conversation, but I've got another philosophy. Well, basically my philosophy when it comes to this sort of thing is hit as hard as you get hit. If you can go in there and you feel like you can have a robust conversation with somebody and they can take it and you can take it and they can give it as good as they get it, then have a blood sport debate by all means. But there's just we're too nice these days sometimes, and sometimes we don't want to get our hands dirty. So that's why I appreciated your debate style.
Well, the secularists count on it. They kind of count on the fact that they're going to be able to play against your Christian sensibilities or Christian morality.
Definitely.
But niceness is not a part of the Christian doctrine. I don't know where this came from, this kind of pearl clutching. I can't believe he said something which would offend the enemies of the faith. Like, what do you mean? I'm not there to be nice to the secularists. I'm there to destroy their worldview because they want to punish me for mine. I'm not there to be their friend. I'm not there to be kind to them. I'm not there to be nice to them. I'm there to destroy and eradicate their worldview, which is trying to destroy Christianity globally.
If you enjoyed that reality-based podcast clip, make sure to subscribe to the reality-based YouTube channel. We'll be uploading many clips and the full podcast. And also, if you prefer the audible version, you can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Reality Based.